Hi, everyone. Hope you're doing well. I have a special guest with me, Steve Capone, the Chief Marketing Officer at Voyager, which is a crypto trading platform that is out in the market now, starting to roll out in many different states. So, Steve, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Tony. Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
So, Steve, there's been a lot of buzz around Voyager. I mean, you guys just did a reverse merger in Canada. Your app is open on the iOS market. So, for those who may not know about Voyager, though, can you give us an overview of the company, the founders, and the services that you provide?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks for referencing some of the things that just happened. Last week was a bit of a crazy and exciting week for us, and I know we'll talk a little bit more about that. But just to give folks who may not be familiar with Voyager a little bit of background and what Voyager does. So we really position Voyager as what we sometimes refer to as an agency broker or broker in the crypto market. We're concentrated on traders, whether they be retail or institutional businesses, on the investors in the market, on representing their orders and helping them find what we call best execution in the market, helping them find the best areas to execute their trades, find reliable execution, better pricing. So we kind of sit in the middle of the part of the market where the liquidity is, where the exchanges may be, these kind of, in some cases, very large, but pockets of liquidity. And then the individual traders or the institutions that may be trading. We really look at Voyager as that entity in the middle that we call the broker, that in the world of traditional finance or equities is a pretty mature model.
Now, it sounds like you're looking at different exchanges and pulling in that data. So are you kind of being the aggregate of the information and giving like an average price or pulling in the best price for users to purchase?
Yeah, so we do what we call kind of take what referred to, the best way to describe it would be an aggregated order book. Yeah, so we have partnerships with many exchanges. On any given time, we could be executing across a few or more, depending on the amount of liquidity or the rates. But what we're doing is referring to prior to working at Voyager, I was a more active crypto trader. These days, I don't really have the time. I'm more so on building things for crypto traders. But I even myself, as a retail trader, experienced what I called the 10 tab problem.
Yeah.
That if you you know it right as I said it, right? If you're looking to trade a variety of coins and you have this exchange that supports your fiat currency, or this exchange that has these core coins at great rates, and this exchange that may have the longer tail of altcoins, you're opening up a variety of tabs and sometimes even exposing yourselves to all different sort of gateways of security that you may or may not be familiar with. What Voyager does is sort of just help you piece all of that together through one centralized point.
Got it. And is the primary platform through a mobile app, or is there a desktop version?
Currently, right now, we were in beta for Q4, and we just released our iOS trading application just last week. It just hit the market on Wednesday. We are in development on Android. In fact, have been for a couple of months already. That's slated for Q3 of this year. It could come out a little bit sooner. We may start a beta with it a little bit earlier. So currently iOS, we do have a bit of a mobile first focus as a company.
Sure.
Desktop is something we'll get to down the line. The reason maybe we don't prioritize as much as the mobile platforms is because we've been in development and are going to market with our institutional business, where we may have some enterprises and financial institutional partners that bring desktop applications to market that may already have desktop trading applications that want a crypto integration into their existing trading platform. And we'll look perhaps to some of our institutional partners to offer that as a platform, maybe even before us.
And that totally makes sense. I think the majority of folks are on their smartphone. That's where a lot of things are happening now versus desktop. I think that even Google and other companies have shown searches and so forth are coming from mobile versus desktop in the majority. Now, can you tell us a bit about the co-founders? Because we know that one of the co-founders is one of the co-founders of Uber, and I know I said a lot of co-founders here, but also
there are quite a few. So yeah.
And then E-Trade, some folks with background in the E-Trade. So can you give us some insight into who those folks are and how the idea came about?
Yeah, absolutely. Part of what's made, I think, Voyager, we've moved kind of, fast and bold. I would say we've been able to bring a product to market, really started development on it in under a year. And part of what's made that happen has been, frankly, the best talent I've ever worked with at a leadership level, and even then across our engineering team and my team. And that stems down from our founders. It's really a privilege to work with such kind of veterans across the board of traditional finance, in our CEO Steve Ehrlich, and in the brokerage world, as well as some of our other founders. So it really all starts with Steve. He's our CEO. He's our leader. Steve's spent decades in brokerage, in retail and institutional brokerage. He ran the professional trading division at E-Trade, was a part of a company that was acquired into E-Trade in the mid to late 90s, grew to be a leader at E-Trade, running that professional trading division, and then eventually spun that out and became the CEO of Lightspeed Financial, which was a single entity operating as a professional trading platform, and still does. So Steve just really understands how the world of brokerage works from a traditional perspective, but saw the evolution of it in online brokerage, kind of disruption of what was, traditional equities, and how that was disrupted through online. And he, on a almost daily basis, reminds us of I've seen this before, is what Steve says all the time. And he's most often proven right, just the kind of remix of things. So, and then aside from Steve, Oscar Salazar was the founding CTO, the first technical architect, built the first Uber application.
Wow.
Oscar was especially instrumental in the earlier parts of the company, where when we were laying out the vision, putting our engineering team together, the culture around engineering, and having his experience around building, really a disruptive technology.
Sure.
The companies like Uber have had to go through just as many regulatory barriers as the crypto industry has. So having that experience as part of the company has been instrumental. And in addition, Philip Eitan, an early investor in Uber, founder of Livestream, Gaspard De Druzy, and Serge Kreiker. These are really who built a company called Tradeit, which was a middleware company in fintech. We have a group of 5 or 6 leaders that knew they could build something special in finance, that they can draw from their experiences in traditional brokerage, in fintech, in disruptive technology, and apply that to this kind of growing, changing organism that is the world of crypto.
Wow, that is a ton of experience, and like you said, it's very applicable to what's going on here in the crypto market.
Yeah, they make up our make up our board, and are have been responsible for some of the things we've been able to do and grow the company from a financing perspective as well. But at the end of the day, Steve, who I get to really sit next to on a daily basis, I'm the other Steve. Steve is Steve. Is leading the charge for us, and is responsible for a lot of the progress we've made.
Awesome. Now, I've seen some screenshots and some of it which you guys tweeted and shared online of the app, the interface. It looks really great, and it looks like you have 18 cryptocurrencies you'll be offering. Includes the top 3, essentially Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, and others. Can you tell us a bit about that, and as well as will we be able to withdraw our crypto or deposit crypto as well?
Yeah. So coming to market with a wide variety of crypto assets and supporting, it's our plan to support many, right? Yeah. If there's a market for it, if we feel it's something that's safe to trade and something that we're supportive of, and there's a market for it, we want to bring it to traders and customers. So we feel really good about supporting 18 different coins in our first release. We hope that's a good signal to the market of what we're looking to do. Currently, we enable our customers to buy any one of those 18 coins with US dollars. They a really simple process, like a lot of modern fintech apps. Just sync your bank account, deposit and get trading right away. Have a sort of a lending account right away to be able to start trading while that deposit clears. And that's all largely done through US dollars right now on the inbound and outbound. Our next major release, which is slated for just really within a couple of months, it's slated for by the end of this quarter, will support crypto transfers as well. So it's really just a matter of getting to market as fast as we could and bringing that, I think more than a minimum viable product, but having that mentality of bringing that to market while knowing that supporting crypto transfers, that these are fluid assets that want to move on the wires that they originate from. That's been a part of the vision, is something we'll have in product very soon.
Awesome. That's great to hear. And I think it puts you ahead of some of the other competitors in the market who have apps which don't allow you to withdraw or deposit crypto. It's only fiat. So glad to hear you guys are doing that. I'm sure a lot of folks are going to be happy as well who trade in the market.
Yeah, we're from the start, we've taken a customer-centric approach. This is part of what makes being in market for a week, being public as an app for a week, has made this the most exciting week because we have real customer feedback. We were in beta for a while and got some feedback, but what we've learned in the past week has already just made us exponentially smarter. We're going to steer this ship and our product and our services based on what our customer wants, whether that be retail customers or our enterprise or institutional customers. And they're all customers that want to grow with crypto, that see crypto evolving. So we're here to evolve with the world of crypto.
Awesome. That's so great to hear that your customer-centric focus, because that's so important. I feel sometimes that's missed a lot in this market. It's all about sometimes just getting money and profit. But I think the market's maturing, and it sounds like you guys are on the right path for sure.
Thanks. Yeah.
Now, obviously, you're kind of rolling out, you're testing the market in certain states, and I know there's a lot of regulation and red tape or lack of regulation in the United States. Can you tell us a bit about which states you're available in, what other regions and markets you'll be launching in the future?
Sure. We're available in 9 states right now: Arizona, California, Kentucky, Illinois, Massachusetts, Missouri, Montana, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. You can go to our website, investvoyager.com. I don't think I messed that list up. It's getting easier and easier as I rattle it off. So 9 states for now. Some more coming very, very soon. So we've applied to be licensed in every single state. That's absolutely the plan. Once again, just in with getting this kind of pretty robust stack of technology that we've built and how we execute orders. Voyager is very much a business of kind of an infrastructure, and getting that to market as fast as we could.
Sure.
We're able to do that with these 9 states. But we will expand to support the U.S. domestically as well as international. And our expansion into the Android operating system as well as international will, to some degree, go hand in hand with each other because they're both very important to each other.
Yeah, for sure. Now, I saw on your website you guys offer an institutional service, and I think a lot of folks definitely want to hear about that. I noticed that you do the execution as well as the custodial, but you have custody partners such as BitGo. Can you tell us a bit about the whole institutional product that you offer?
Yeah, thanks for asking. I watch your videos quite a bit, and you always make a point to point out the importance of the institutional adoption. I think over the past year in particular in the space, as maybe the storm that the crypto market was in 2017 has tempered a bit into a bear market. What we've seen is this development of these crypto financial institutions or traditional institutions getting into crypto. Really smart financial institutions tend not to chase a market going up. They wait for it to settle a bit. So it's logical as to what's happened this year. For us, the founders always had a vision, partially with Steve's background, and then very short after we launched, we got started. We brought in Glenn Barber, who runs our institutional business and has a great background in global program trading. We always knew we were going to get into institutional. We've built Voyager such that it almost is an institutional business. Like I said, we call it an infrastructure business. Our app is is really just a customer that sits on top of a bigger set of infrastructure, right?
Yep.
So we are a institutional customer of ourselves in a way, at least the app is. So once we started building the retail trading app, really early on in the summer, when folks started learning about Voyager, some of our old colleagues and industry peers started learning about what we're doing, we just started getting some interest, and frankly, faster than we even anticipated. Some other companies seeing that, you're going to actually aggregate the market, you're building a smart order router that's going to seek best execution, the stuff we're used to in our traditional ways of operating, and we just started to get some interest. And a lot of interest. And we felt like we owed it to ourselves and our shareholders to accelerate that business even faster. So that really motivated us to formalize the institutional business really late summer, start evolving those products and services a bit more throughout last year, line up a team around that, early partners, and we'll be going live with our first few institutional partners trading on the platform this quarter.
Oh, wow. Very cool. And you provide the full service, right? Doing everything for them, including custody and so forth.
Yeah. So our institutional partners, they really range. Many of them have an existing base of maybe retail customers that are seeking crypto, and the institution wants to offer it to them. Mm-hmm. But frankly, doesn't want to do all the work we've had to do for the past year and a half, from a regulatory standpoint, from a technology standpoint, and process standpoint. So our goal is to increase crypto adoption and get over those barriers to entry for our partners. So we handle the order execution. Mm-hmm. We help from a custody perspective in terms of bringing that custody suite that I referred to earlier to our institutional partners, or integrating with an existing custodial partner that they may have already. So we don't want a custodial partner to be a barrier to who our institutional partner may be, but we are, through our partnerships with companies like BitGo, ItBit, as well as Ethos. Ethos has an institutional offering with a product called Bedrock. We're able to kind of build or modify or integrate through a partner in a variety of different ways for our institutional customers, and offer them custody based on their needs.
Got it. That sounds exciting, and I know a lot of folks are very interested in the institutional aspect of this market, and how the on-ramps are being built, the infrastructure for them to easily get into market and of course invest. So that's exciting. Now, can you talk a bit about the reverse merger that took place in Canada, and some of the details there?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a very exciting week last week. We became a public company. Mm-hmm. That was through a process of what is often referred to as a reverse merger or a reverse takeover. And we were listed on the Toronto Venture Exchange. It's a part of the Toronto Stock Exchange, a larger holding company of the TMX, which operates both.
Yeah.
And it's something that had been in plan since last year. We worked really hard on it. This is not the kind of thing that happens overnight. The folks at the exchange were great partners. They asked amazing just questions, and ensuring that we were a company that would be successful, and a successful offering to the folks that trade on their exchange. And we were able to succeed and list as a public company. And this is something that the leadership team discussed early on. It was a part of the early vision when looking at how to grow this company, how to finance this company, while also observing the momentum that the ICO and token sales space had experienced. Obviously, the founders and early investors looked at all the possibilities and ways to finance this company, and how we could be competitive and move fast and be well capitalized, while also ensuring that there's a great capital structure for our shareholders. And we saw some really great success stories and companies going public on the Toronto Stock Exchange throughout not just the crypto sector, Some great companies have been listed on the exchange, and as well as the cannabis sector over the past few years as well.
Right.
The Toronto Stock Exchange has a great institutional and retail supporting trading base for emerging technology sectors. It really kind of seeks out that almost venture capital investment class that Silicon Valley and VCs tend to go after. So it offers a really great enabler of growth for a company from a capital standpoint. It offers folks who want to invest in the crypto landscape and in crypto a way to get into the crypto and the crypto trading industry through by being an investor in our company if they're so interested to do so. And then lastly, I don't say this is the number one reason, but it may be the number one sort of bonus that comes after is we've always felt that the level of what we're held to now as a public company, the transparency that the regulators will hold us to, that are now sort of wider base of public shareholders will hold us to, we hope will extend a level of trust out to the industry and to our customers. That it holds us to a standard that we think that the crypto customers and traders and investors deserve, and that's a representation of how we plan to operate as a company.
Awesome, and congratulations on being able to execute on that. I'm curious, would you be considered the first crypto company to go to be public? Obviously, not in a traditional IPO. But I know, like, for example, Bitmain, the crypto mining company, tried to do an IPO. There were some hiccups there. So as far as being listed on a stock exchange, I can't think of any other crypto company. You guys might be maybe the first?
There have been others. We're definitely the first agency broker or broker to do so. The first that is a business of our type, that is in kind of the trading and retail trading business. But there have been some others, most notably Galaxy Digital, Mike Novogratz's business, that really sits a little bit more on the banking side of the business and does OTC trading and a different but certainly very interesting and promising business. Some other mining companies have as well. There haven't been as many IPOs of recent, but also, as I mentioned, the cannabis sector, and frankly, for quite a while, the Toronto Venture Exchange has kind of seen this demand for these emerging technology categories. So we can't take credit for being the first, but we certainly think we're the first of our kind to do so.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. Now, you covered a lot as far as your plans for this year, but is there anything else that we can expect in 2019 that you can share?
Last year was all about building and getting stuff to market, and this year there's more to come through. There's stuff that I get to see and test every day that just hasn't come out. I mentioned crypto transfers. I've mentioned expansion into Android and other markets. So really the theme of this year is going to be expansion. Expansion into institutional. Obviously, it's sort of already started. We'll just be rolling that out in full live mode with our customers this quarter. And we're going to be doing a lot of listening to our customers and really figuring out what we should be doing next. And being live now and being a public company, we now have, through our stock as a public company, we have another form of a currency to help us grow. That's going to enable different types of partnerships and help us grow potentially with other companies over time. So there will definitely be other growth enablers this year. We'll roll out new products, features, partnerships. I think we're going to continue to excite the market. We moved really fast and bold last year, and I don't sense that we're going to do any different this year.
Very cool, very exciting. And as things progress on your end, we would love to have you back on to talk a bit about the new updates. Now, finally, and this is, of course, not financial or investment advice, what is your personal outlook on the crypto market, given that we've been in a very long, I think the longest bear market it's been compared to the previous years. What is your personal outlook? Do you think that we might see some regulations, regulatory clarity, I should say, in the United States that would kind of free up the market to be more innovative and more folks to come into the United States and start building?
Yes, of course. Disclaimer is fine print. This is not investment advice. And, consult with your own advisor and make your own decisions. I think more regulation. Sometimes a lot of folks are really scared by that, but I get the sense that you agree that more regulation is. In fact, I've heard you say this is welcome. Obviously, it has its limits, and but it would really give some clarity for some of the larger companies to move in. I mean, last week's announcement with JP Morgan, obviously, we're not seeing, this train is not stopping.
Right.
We have some great partners in the space, and I look at other just companies that have done some amazing things already, and the projects that have managed to, not only survive, but grow and deploy products. I think there's been a lot of focus on this being a build phase, and I think, this is a build phase, but I also kind of think this is a transact phase. We need to start developing projects into businesses with customers. And there have certainly been a lot of successes of that, but I want to see more. I want to see more partnerships with larger traditional financial institutions. I want to see newcomers into the market. I think the last time we were seeing a real storm of newcomers into the market was when Bitcoin was at 20,000. Yeah. New interest in traders. I think there's going to be a whole new wave of growth. And I think that's going to be a byproduct of newcomer companies like Voyager bringing that on and bringing trusted products that brings a new wave of customers in, that kind of big majority that has yet to come in. While also some of the traditional companies, companies like Fidelity and some of the other traditional banks getting into the space are going to enable some growth. So unclear if that'll exactly happen this year, but I think we're going to continue to see everyone sticking around and saying that this thing is for real. Let's keep building. Let's keep partnering and developing products. And it's just a matter of time, whether it's early this year or later this year, that next wave of the majority is going to come in.
Awesome. Steve, a lot of insightful information, and Voyager is doing a lot of great things. So like I said, we would love to have you back as things progress on your end. And everyone, if you're available in your state, you can check out the links in the description to the app as well as the website. If it's not available in your state, you can sign up on a waiting list. So definitely check that out. Links in the description. Steve, thank you once again for joining us.
Tony, thank you so much. Great being with you.